Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra.
Endgame program and be done with them.
You know what time it is. We're all here to have a good time. It is the Transformer and G.I. Joe late night stream. It's 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday evening, and it's time to talk Transformers and G.I. Joe. Okay, guys, let me just get set up here for 1 second. Okay, double checking the audio because I always have audio problems, and hopefully we won't have any audio problems tonight. Let me just get some stuff. Okay, we're done here. We're done with that. We're going to change this. We're going to do that. And, okay. So, we are basically ready to go, guys. I changed things up sort of here in the old formatting for what the stream looks like. So, bear with me. I will try to make it look a little sexier. And, yeah. So hopefully the audio is good tonight. We won't run into issues with the audio. Get the microphone a little closer here. Actually, maybe what we'll do here, let's move the keyboard right here. And we're going to put the audio right here. So we'll keep the audio good. And yeah, we'll talk about some Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff. We'll keep you busy, hopefully for about an hour or so. And, then we can let you go to bed. Because we all got to go to bed. We all got to more than likely go to work tomorrow. And that sucks. Okay, so, Mr. Carlos, good evening. Welcome to the chat. Okay, so, where are we going here? Where we're going to start off? Well, usually what we start off with here is, we talk about, maybe what happened during the week. What I usually try to acquire some stuff to show you guys some stuff. And then we talk about some news highlights. So let's jump right into it because it's 11:33 and we're already behind. I put the glasses up so I don't get so much glare. I do have to put the glasses down to read the comments, so unfortunately. Okay, so today, it's Sunday, a busy weekend. Got a couple things on the go for this coming week. You know what? Sadly, I did actually not get a long form video out this week. Just some stuff came up and got busy, but I'm working on something. I'll get a video hopefully. I don't know if I'll get one early this week. I'll probably just go back to the regular schedule and get some now for Friday or Saturday. Anyways, don't worry. We got videos coming. Still lots of stuff coming. There's always stuff to talk about when you're talking about Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff. Let's see. Thrift store. You guys, I always go to the thrift store. About, I would say, there's 2 thrift stores I visit regularly, and I go there about 5 times a week or so. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. And this week, I didn't get much. Like I said, it's been a bunch of dry weeks, but I did get one thing at the thrift store. So, I ended up getting this at the thrift store. And basically, it look, we as G.I. Joe people, we know as soon as you see this, it's a vamp. And, it's some derivative, some mold or whatever. And you're like, bam, it's G.I. Joe related, right? So this is, I always forget the name of it. It is the Danger at the Docks version of the Vamp. It's nice. Oh, shoot. It came with the 2 doors, which I was surprised. It's missing the roof. It's missing some parts or whatever. I just basically picked it up to add to the trade pile or whatever, right? That's what I do. It's so cheap. I think it was like $3, right? So I mean, it's the simple rule of leave no Joe behind or whatever, right? Because you don't know where it's gonna go. At least you pick it up and you're like, I'll give it a good home. Second now, guys. Oops. Sorry, just want to do 1 second here on the old Twitter. Quote. Anyways, so yeah, picked that up, and then of course, in case you're not familiar, this belongs in this pack, right? Danger at the Docks. It was part of the 50th anniversary line. So it came with a sweet vamp. Sort of the Mark II vamp with the missile launcher, but a little vamped up, would you say? And it came with the night landing craft. It's pretty sweet. It came to the modern eels and a modern flint. I mean, I'm not really big into the modern figures, but the vehicles, the packaging, everything. And I believe, if I remember correctly, for this, I think this was on clearance at Toys R Us. And I got this for about, like, I'm going to say $35 Canadian back in the day. And I think if you look this up now, I think people like sell it for like $150. I mean, that's a lot of money. But I mean, I just liked it for the packaging and like, the cool vehicles or whatever. Obviously, it's funny. I just realized, let me just put this down for a second. So, oh, look. Oh, I can't get it. Look, I didn't even realize this. The engine opens, the hood opens, and you can see the engine in there. Sorry, I just seen this on the packaging. I was like, okay, that's cool, it's cool. Obviously, this thing is missing a lot of pieces or whatever. I don't think I'd ever try to complete it. I'll put it in the trade pile, but still pretty sweet. This thing's pretty sweet. Also, there was another 2-pack. I believe it had the Wolfhound, which was a Snowcat, and a Cobra Wolf, I believe. I think that was the other 2-pack. But I didn't get that one. I only picked this one up. Yeah, so this is about $35 about a bunch of years ago. And now it's worth a lot more money. So nice to have it in the collection. Anyways, so put that over there. Put that back later. I always have to get stuff out and ready, like, to show you guys. This is what I got. This is what I got. Yeah, it was a cool find, Carlos. Like I said, I hardly ever, rarely find G.I. Joe stuff at the thrift store. I think there's a lot of back-end deals going on or whatever. I think whenever it does come in, it goes quickly. It doesn't actually make it to the shelves. That's just my opinion. I don't have any proof of that, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, 2014. Hey, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was trying to think. I was going to say about 10 years ago. 10, 11 years ago. It was a long time ago. Yeah, and a pretty sweet line. I like that line, the 50th anniversary line. I don't have a lot of it. I've got, actually, I had a couple of the 2-packs from the 50th anniversary line. And because they're the modern figures, I just sold them and got rid of them. I sold them to another collector. I'm like, sometimes stuff doesn't fit in your collection anymore. And I wanted to move it along to somebody else. Maybe make their day, gave them a deal on something. But I like the box stuff and I like the vehicles, so I made sure I kept the vehicle. What else? Okay, I got this week too. Now, this won't make sense for a lot of you guys, okay? So, I got this Darth Vader TIE Fighter, and I'll be honest with you. Like a lot of people, I'm kind of done with Star Wars. Like the people at Disney, they're not doing a great job with Star Wars. But somebody who grew up with Star Wars, being an original trilogy guy, I have a lot of the Star Wars vehicles, like the X-Wings, the TIE Fighters, Millennium Falcon, a lot of stuff in like storage or whatever. And for whatever reason, I just never had a Darth Vader TIE Fighter. I don't know. I just never had one or whatever. So, I sold some stuff the last week or whatever, and I had some money kicking around. Like, this cost me, I think, $20 Canadian, or no, 10 or 20. 20 on Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, you know what? About time I add one to the collection. And it's not like I don't even have them hanging from the ceiling. I was thinking though, I have 2 of the large wing TIE Fighters. If you had either of those and the Darth Vader TIE Fighter coming beside them. That'd be pretty sweet. Pretty sweet display. Anyways, it's in pretty good condition. It has the top. And nothing appears to be broken. Now, obviously, it's missing the projectiles that go in here or whatever. But whatever, who cares? I mean, it was $20. It's pretty sweet. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to add that to the collection. And, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So, like, for me, I talk about this often. I play the long game on stuff. Like, so I mean, look how many years I did not have a Darth Vader TIE Fighter in my collection, and now I do. So yeah, whatever. I mean, not the sexiest thing, because especially when you're a Transformer and GI Joe collector, but you know, something, one of those little niche collections in the back end. Anyway, so that's kind of cool. So I added that to my collection. Oh my god. You know, it's funny. I just placed it down, and one of the wings just fell off it. I hope it's not broken. So that was that. And then my last pickup for the week was this. I picked up this mask, Thunderhawk. My mask collection has been growing over the last about a year or so, and I never had a Thunderhawk, and he's like the iconic character from the series, right? I didn't even test if this really works. Yeah, nice. It's kind of got like, yeah, it's old or whatever. So whatever. I mean, it's just, I don't necessarily need a perfect condition item. I just need a sample or whatever. So I mean, it's pretty sweet. I didn't have one. I actually have Matt Tracker completing the mask with his mask and everything in a baggie in my mask box. I might actually do a video on my mask collection, because you know, it's nothing spectacular, nothing's really like 100% complete, but I do enjoy mask or whatever. Anyways, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, so that is a nice little addition to my personal collection. Now, this thing came and it had a bit of a smell to it, and I was like, it smells a little bad, but you know what? Hot tip, if you ever come across a toy that has a bad smell to it, what you do is you just take it and put it in a bag. Oops, wait now, sorry, I gotta fix this up for a second. You take it and you put it in a bag with a dryer sheet, put it in there, lock it away for, you know, a few days, and it totally nullifies the smell. So it's just in there with the dryer sheet or whatever. It's been in there for a few days. It's going to stay in there for like another couple days, and that will really nullify any kind of leftover smell. You know, I've had toys that I've picked up before, a mask toy that I've picked up before, and the toy reeked of marijuana. And basically, it was disgusting. It was so bad. But you pop it in with a dryer sheet in a bag, and it'll fix it up totally completely. Another trick you can use is coffee grinds work very well as well. I do find that the dryer sheet works a bit better though. Okay, so if you have something that smells like has smoke in it, it smells just of marijuana, it smells gross, put a dryer sheet in a bag, put it in the bag, lock it away for a week, you're good, you're solid. So that's a hot tip from me to you. Let's see what we got here today. So yeah, basically, so I got the Darth Vader TIE Fighter, I got the masked Thunderhawk, and I got the Vamp there. The only other thing, where is it? I did a trade, and basically I got, let's see what I got here. I'm always working on my Real American Hero GIJoe collection. I got the this is the thruster to the Night Raven drone, and it's a very common piece that is often missing. I have several Night Ravens that I'm going to be selling soon, and basically I just need to finish one off. So this was one of the last pieces I needed for the drone, And then the other last piece I need is one of the weapons on the side of the drone, which I'm going to send that to my group and see if anyone can help me complete that. So that was, man, you don't understand. My front desk here is still a mess. When I did remember last week I had Mixmaster and Vortex out. I was doing all these unboxings or whatever. I did not clean up my desk from last week. It is a hot mess. So bear with me. I know it's not on screen, so you can't see it, but believe me, it is a very bad hot mess. Now let's jump into some light topics here to talk about. So we talked about my deals. I do have another deal coming up, and it's going to be possibly one. Now, the thing is, okay, you learn a lot in this hobby of collecting, that you should never really count your chickens before they hatch, okay? So, like, you think you're going to get a great deal on something, and you're like, oh, this is going to be amazing, best deal ever, and then it'll fall through, and you won't end up getting it, okay? So, I try not, this is kind of going against what I would suggest doing, okay? Because I'm going to talk to you about a deal that is supposed to come through tomorrow, but if it doesn't come through, I'm going to be kicking myself about it, okay? So, just quickly, and I have some pictures to share with you guys too. Just quickly, I run a GIJoe Facebook group, so I am the owner, I'm the creator of a local one in my area, and so when people go to join, I get a notification saying, hey, so-and-so tried to join your Facebook group. They either succeeded or failed because they didn't answer the questions properly. Like, there's like, are you selling GIJoes? Who's your favorite character? Just basic stuff to keep the spammers out, right? So when somebody fails to answer that question, I get a notification that they fail or whatever. And about in August sometime, this lady tried to join the group because she's a local or whatever. And she tried to join the group, and I got a notification saying, hey, this lady failed. She didn't answer questions. And I was like, hey, and you get to know these things, right? It's like, why would this, like 30, 45-year-old woman try to be joining the group? Well, it's because she had some GIJoes that she wanted to sell. And basically, so I reached out to her, and I was like, hey, you tried to join the group, but it didn't work out, or didn't work. Are you trying to sell some GIJoes? And she's like, yeah, my boyfriend, or I don't know if it was a boyfriend or a husband, recently received a huge box of GIJoes from his family, and they didn't want to hold them anymore. And they're like, hey, you take them. And she was like, well, we don't want them either, but we want to sell them. So basically she said that she had a huge lot of GIJoes. I'm like, lots mean different things to different people, right? I'm like, is that like 20, 30, 40? What is the lot of GIJoe figures? And we're talking a Real American Hero I'm sure you've clued in by now. And I was like, how many you're talking about? And she's like, well, it's probably like 100. And I was like, whoa, you have 100 Real American Hero figures and you want to sell them? I'm listening. And the thing is, for me, I am a deal hunter. I am very frugal. So there's two things. Now, I've talked about this in other videos before. There's two things you have to consider, right? It's like, there's a value of what it is worth, and then there's a value of what you would like to pay for it, right? So when you're talking 100 GIJoe figures, what are we talking about here? Like, it depends on their condition. It depends on how complete they are, right? So basically, she started to catalog all the stuff, And she went through and, in her eyes as a non-collector, and sometimes I find when non-collectors look at this stuff, they don't really understand where like the nuance of like, oh, well, you have a figure, but he's got his crotch broken off, so he's not worth anything now. Or you have a figure and he doesn't have any accessories, so the value is less, or whatever, compared to often non-collectors will look up prices of 100% complete mint figures and assume that theirs is equal to that. And sometimes what happens is they get the wrong idea of how much their stuff is worth. And that's when you see people list stuff on Facebook and they've got like 2 figures and they're like, I want $100 for them. You know what I mean? Because they think they've got some gold or whatever. So the thing is, when this lady, she had over 100 figures, that has some kind of worth to it, as for sure, right? But when it comes down to it, the thing is, I have I always say a large G.I. Joe collection. I have a lot of figures, a lot of vehicles, but there's people out there with way better collections than mine, but mine's pretty good or whatever, right? So a lot of times when I see figures, I don't need a lot of them because I already have a lot of them. But the person who likes to collect stuff, the person who likes to wheel and deal in this stuff, I'm always like, well, you know what? If I could pick this up for cheap or cheaper, I would take the few figures that I wanted out of the collection and then sell the rest so I can make more money. And guess what? Buy more toys, right? You reinvest your money back into your collection. So, long story short, this started back in August. I went on vacation for a month in August and September, and the lady reached back out to me. We had been talking several times. She had sent me some pictures, and long story short, it looks like we've come to an agreement now, and in theory, I'm supposed to pick up these figures tomorrow. So, you know what? If it happens, it's gonna be great. If it doesn't happen, I'd already resigned myself to the fact that it might not happen, because I wasn't going to necessarily pay top dollar for what she was looking for. But she came to the realization that selling, 100 G.I. Joe figures individually would be a lot of work, right? You've got to organize them. You got to catalog them. You got to bag them. You got to get everything ready. You got to find buyers, and then you got to ship them to them because they might not be local. So in theory, like, that is a lot of work. And for a non-collector, that is a lot of work, right? Now, obviously, if you do put the time and effort in, you're going to make some money. But for her, she decided that it was not worth her time and effort to do that. And she just wanted to sell them to me for a bulk price. And I was happy with the bulk price that she presented. Long story short, she sent me some pictures. And once again, the thing is, I shouldn't really be showing you these pictures or whatever, because the idea is I don't have these in my possession just yet. And the deal could fall through tomorrow and I could never hear from her again, and that would suck. So I'm going to quickly look at them or whatever. We'll just go through some highlights, and you know what? Basically, you'll have to come back next week to see if I've actually be able to pick these up or whatever. So let's just look at a couple. So if this is one of the pictures she sent me. And this is quite funny because I can probably make this a little bigger. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay. This is quite funny because she actually sent me this was some vintage figures compared to the other figures she sent me were a lot of 90s figures, like 92, 93, 94. And she sent me this as, this is a bunch of vintage figures, and they're not that great, or whatever. Some of them are damaged, or whatever, but a lot of them, see, this is where you get in trouble as a non-collector, as a person who just wants to sell these things, is that a a lot of them just need new O-rings, right? And an O-ring replacement on a Real American Hero figure only takes about 3 or 4 minutes, right? I mean, if that. I'm sure it takes less than that or whatever, but it doesn't take very long, right? So, like, if I say, like, Road Pig needs a new O-ring, the Night Creeper, Armor Cobra Commander, I'm just pointing out a bunch here, whatever. They just need new O-rings. It's going to take a bunch of, me a night or two to replace all the O-rings, and then I've got all these figures. So this, she was not prioritizing this. Like this, I don't know if these don't appear to come with their accessories or whatever, but based on what she has shown me as well, I'm just wondering if the accessories for these are in a bag that she hasn't divided as of yet. And the reason why I say that is because if I open one of the other pictures, this is what she gives me. Okay. Let's put this up here. And we're going to put this down here. Going to make this a little bigger. And basically, what you're getting here is like, this is the level of detail that she was able to put together. And like, like you've got this, like, what is it? 1993 Scarlet, Ninja Force Scarlet with, like, every single one of her weapons. You got Law version 3 from 1993 with every single one of his weapons. Of course, you've got this Heliviper, which is sort of rare or whatever. And long story short, yeah, like it's pretty crazy or whatever, right? So she sent me like several different pictures of this, of the stuff that she had put together and cataloged and stuff of that, like Chun-Li, the Headhunter from version 1, 1992 is a kind of a rare figure. You got Long Arm from 1993. I don't even remember that figure. So I mean, it's quite interesting. And my fingers are crossed that this deal comes through and it just works out or whatever. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited for the potential of this deal. And I really hope it comes through, because there's a few figures in this collection that I would like, that I've been looking for myself, my own collection. And a buddy of mine, he's already interested in a few figures. And I've got some friends that are interested in some of these figures as well. I like hooking my not like hooking my friends up, but like I like giving my friends deals, because it makes me, being a better part of the community type thing, right? So I'm excited for this, and I really hope that it works out. So hopefully tomorrow sometime I'll be able to figure this out if I do have this collection in tow, and it should be cool. Anyways, so let's go back to the main camera. So I mean, we'll see how it works out. I will keep you guys updated or whatever, and see how it goes. The thing is, I know a majority of my channel revolves around Transformers and GIJoe. And when we talk about Transformers and GIJoe related to the SwishPOP YouTube channel, a lot of times we're talking about news items. We're talking about like Transformers Legacy, Transformers Age of the Primes, Transformers Studio Series. And then as well, when we're talking GIJoe, we're talking about GIJoe Classified. That being said, I actually really enjoy GIJoe, A Real American Hero. And that is where a bulk of my time goes into my collection. Obviously, like, I pick up the new Classified when they come out. I pick up the new Transformers when they come out. But Real American Hero is where a lot of my time goes or whatever, right? So we'll see how it goes. The Frostbite MG doesn't belong with the Headhunter, but it looked cool. Yeah, it's funny, Carlos. I noticed that too. I noticed the Frostbite gun was there, and I was like, she did such a good job of sorting everything there. I was surprised that the Frostbite gun was there as well. But yeah, I noticed that too. It's funny you said that. Looks like they were sorted out and arranged by someone who knew a lot. You know what's funny, Evil King? She doesn't know anything about G.I. Joe. She actually, what she would do, she would take the figure, Google image it, and then like pictures would come up. And then she sorted herself based on Google image pictures. So she was putting a ton of work into doing this. And then she was marking down on the post-it, like, you know, this is the figure from the year or whatever. So she was doing a crazy job of doing it and organizing it. But I guess at the end, she just didn't want to put the work into getting it up to sell, to make sure she got a good price. And anyways, long story short, her, let's say, frustration with it is my benefit. So hopefully it works out in the end for me. And what I was trying to say was that I noticed like a bunch of viewers dropped off or whatever because I'm talking a Real American Hero compared to maybe Classified. I do talk about Classified when news is out or whatever, but I do have a certain love for a Real American Hero. It's what I grew up on. And it'll always, always, always have a crazy place in my heart. Anyways, news items for this week. What are we talking about this week? A few things, okay, a couple things. The first thing we just talk about is, second now. I just seen something here. I just want to copy this over here. And we'll go over here. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Okay, sorry. So I heard something upstairs. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, so I had a brain fart there for a second. The first thing I wanted to talk about is something left over from last week. Actually, last week was such a jam-packed stream that I had topics, and one of the topics I was like, I don't have time to talk about it right now because I think it was like an hour and 50 or almost 2 hour stream, and it was late at night. And this is where, when I do these streams late at night, it is causes problems, right? Because everyone has to go to bed. So whatever. Long story short. So the first thing we will talk about, display. We're going to go over here. Boom. And I didn't talk about it last week. And it was big news though, of course. And that is the news that apparently Amazon's going to do a Energon universe. Is it Amazon? I can't remember. Did I mess it up? I don't know if it's Amazon. Sorry. There's going to be an Energon universe cartoon, and this is kind of crazy. And guys, I know this is not a new news story. Okay, I just didn't get a chance to cover it last week in the last week's stream. I just want to talk about it this week because I just want to get my own opinions out about it or whatever. Right? So. Energon universe, okay? Quickly. So you've got if you're following the comic books, you've got your three things, right? You've got your Transformers, you got your G.I. Joe, and you got your Void Rivals, okay? And all three of those series kind of work together and make some kind of universe, Energon universe. And that's where the stories are coming from or whatever, right? I don't know how many of you are like that deep into the Skybound Energon universe. I don't know if you're loving it. I don't know if you're hating it or whatever, but it's fairly good. Okay. Now, my thing personally for me is I read the Transformers and I read the G.I. Joe, but I haven't welcome. I haven't actually read any of the Void Rivals the issues. So I don't know how much of the overall arching story I'm missing out on. Like in the chat, guys, have any of you read the Void Rivals? Am I missing out on a ton of stuff that I need to go back and read these issues? I mean, at some point, I mean, what is it? Take like 5 minutes to read a comic book? I guess I should just go back and get them. Welcome. Good to see you again this week. Thanks for dropping by. So I mean, I need to go back and probably read those Void Rivals. The thing is, it's like I know a lot of the covers have Transformers on them. I know Springer and Hot Rod has been showing up in them, I believe. So, I mean, the smart thing to do would be to go back and watch, to read those for sure. They mentioned the new animated series, but I don't think they announced a carrier for the show. Yeah, you're right, Carlos. I kind of jumped the gun there. I was thinking like, oh, it's on Amazon or whatever. But you're right. I don't think they've announced a carrier. And you know what? I'm sure whatever, wherever it lands, we'll all watch it or whatever, right? But so they announced the show, and the thing is, I think it's going to be. Like, obviously, if it's done correctly, they say it's going to be very adult-oriented. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of, violence and stuff like that. Or at least, action in it or whatever. But I'm interested to see how they do the show, right? Just one second. I haven't read Void Rivals, but I've been told it's not necessary, Carlos. Okay, yeah. Like, I mean, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I feel like G.I. Joe and Transformers are the main part. But I mean, I might go back and read them just so I have the complete story. Maybe in case they include something in the cartoon, I don't want to be left out in the dark, not be aware of what's happening. Anyways, so I'll go back and read the Void Rivals for sure. But when it comes to the GIJoe, so what I was saying was, I don't really know how they're going to do the cartoon though, right? Because I mean, as of right now, you've got your G.I. Joe, you got your three silos, you got your G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Void Rivals. And while they kind of flow throughout and stuff like that, the story crosses over, the cartoon might be a little different. Like, how would they do the cartoon so it has a good even flow that you're going to be flipping back and forth or whatever, right? So I have a bit of concern in that aspect, but I'm sure this is why people get paid money to write these things out, to make sure they make sense, right? So, I mean, hopefully it works out great. I'm sure it's going to work out right. Like, the last time we seen Transformers was the Netflix shows, and they were not good. The Earthrise, the Kingdom, and the Siege shows, I tried to watch those, and I actually didn't like them. I don't even think I watched the Kingdom one. But they were okay. They were just too slow, too dry. I don't know if it was the voice actors or even the animation style was not good. I did not enjoy it. It's not that it was not good. I did not personally enjoy it. Now, I would assume, I think it's fair to assume that if we're talking animated Transformers G.I. Joe, maybe we get sort of a Castlevania style where that, anime look to it. Or, it's made by the same people that make Invincible. So, I mean, I have not watched Invincible either. But I'm assuming I have seen animation from it. So, either of those, Castlevania or Invincible, I think would be a good style for the show. And as long as the G.I. Joe guys look great and the Transformers look great, I'm sure it'll all come together. Now, I do have one small complaint about the Skybound Transformer series, okay? While the story has not been, I don't know, stellar's not the word. I read it. I'm interested in it. I don't necessarily love it or whatever, but I do enjoy it. I do find the violence in it is a bit over the top sometimes, and I'm not trying to be like a baby or anything, okay? Because, Transformers and G.I. Joe are for sure kind of pushed towards adults now, right? Because we're the market. We're the ones who grew up with them. The kids, they don't care about G.I. Joe and Transformers for the most part, right? So I do think they are right to market these things to us, but for whatever the way, the Transformer one, when they take the humans and they literally squish them, or there's just blood going everywhere, I kind of find it unnecessary, and that's just me. I find it unnecessary. So, I mean, it's not a thing. I'm sure other people are like, yeah, this is great. There's so much like adult content in these books or whatever. But I find it annoying. And that stems back to I think even Transformers the movie, Transformers, I think it's Dark of the Moon, which is the third one. And there's like these parts where they're invading Chicago and they're just like shooting and killing all the humans. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a kid's movie and you're shooting and killing humans all over the place. So it's this kind of weird thing where the Transformers, like, they always kill humans. And I find it weird when we see it in the comic books and they're literally squishing the humans and like, or stepping on them and the blood just squirts everywhere, right? I think it's a bit too violent. I'm okay if they don't necessarily need to tone down the violence, but they don't need to go extreme violence for the sake of being violent. And I find sometimes these shows kind of like, oh, we're like adult cartoons and we're going to be violent because adults are watching it and the adults want the violence. No, when I watch an adult show, I want sometimes adult language because that's the way adults talk, right? We use bad words but we don't necessarily mean anything by them, but that's the way we talk. So I want to hear bad language. I want action. I want violence, but I don't need extreme violence in my cartoons. That's just me. You guys, let me know. What do you think? Do you like extreme violence in your cartoons? You know what? Nobody's going to judge you if you say yes in the chat, okay? Well, this is a safe place. This is a safe place, trust me, okay? Anyways, that's just my opinion. I do think the show will be good. I think if they have enough experience doing these shows now, and as long as, I guess, the only problem you could get into, right? We say it's an adult show, but we're dealing with kid properties here in GIJoe and Transformers for the most part. Now, while those properties are certainly aimed at an adult collector, they do resonate with kids as well. So Hasbro, as the license owner, might make them tone down the violence for the actual show. We'll have to see how it works out. Comments. Giant evil murderous robots would absolutely massacre a lot of humans. You are correct, Evil. You are correct. You called me a baby. I missed that. Yeah, you're a baby. But I don't need that represented in my fiction. I don't need it. I'm Serbian, so yes, we prefer the violent way for everything. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, apparently I'm being outnumbered here for sure. And that's fine. I'm not judging you. And don't worry, there will be violence in it for sure. I'm sure of that. Sometimes they don't need the extreme violence, that's all. Like, I watched all of Castlevania, like the 4 or 6, I think there's 2 series. So there's 6 seasons of Castlevania, whatever, altogether. At times, that show was violent or whatever, but it's like anime-based, it's vampire-based. There's a reason, and monsters, there's a reason for it to be violent, but sometimes I had to look away, man. I was like, oh my god, guys, like, too much violence. Sorry I'm late. Yes, this will be very violent. Yeah, Auto Primer, you're right. It will be violent, you're right. I agree. GIJoe Resolute was violent, but most of it was off screen. I really like Resolute. That show, that movie, or whatever you want to consider, that one shot was awesome. And they did us a disservice by not doing more of that. And I guess maybe that's where this stems from, right? I think a lot of us collectors would have liked to see more Resolute. And if like that's the level of action and violence that is in this Energon show, I'm good with it. I think if they can ramp it up and like take it up to like the action and stuff like that, and the quality of the show from Resolute, bring it to Energon Universe, I'm good. I think that they've done a good job if they can do that. So Primer, you read all the books. You just said that. do I need to read Void Rivals to catch up on everything? Like, I read the G.I. Joe, I read the Transformers, but I've never really, I think I might have read the first issue of Void Rivals, and then I kind of tailed off with it. So do I need to read that to, be fully on board with everything? I enjoy them, so it won't be as violent as Invincible, Evil King. Robert Kirkman's comic book Invincible was over the top violent, and now he's writing Transformers. I don't think he knows how to tone it down. I mean, that is a good point. I mean, a lot of people are saying Kirkman is the guy, he's violent or whatever, so this is a great stop for him. We'll see how it goes. I don't think we have any kind of production date as of yet. We don't have a release date or anything, right? So, I mean, I'm assuming this is like a year away, 2 years away, maybe a year and a half away. When is this releasing? What do you think? Are like a year and a half away before we get to see it? Like, I was really hoping we'd see more Castlevania. I don't know if there's more Castlevania come back. I really like that show. If you can get the graphic novels, I would recommend it. Okay, thanks, Primer. I'll check it out. I mean, I'll certainly make a stab at reading it. If you think it's worth it. So, like, I don't know what the story really of Void Rivals is. I don't remember it, but I know, like, it's out in space. Transformers make appearances or whatever. Like, Primer, can you give me like the 10-second rundown of like what is the story about with Void Rivals? How does it relate to the Transformers and G.I. Joe series? Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I do like the Skybound stuff. I do enjoy what they're doing. So I mean, I think it's going to be an awesome show, and it's great. It's going to be great to see Transformers and G.I. Joe back in media, ready to be consumed and stuff like that when it finally comes out. Let's see what we got here. He also wrote Marvel books, so he can be toned down. No, they're talking about December 2026 release. Okay, so next year, 2026. I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, it obviously takes a while to animate a cartoon and stuff like that, right? So anyways, we'll see how it goes. So, I mean, is there anything else in this article here? Just one second. Let me just scroll down here, the article. See, this is the thing. Despite featuring a family-friendly Hasbro characters, G.I. Joe and Transformers, the Energon Universe series will be broad with adult sensibilities in vein of Kirkman's gritty animated series Invincible, based on his comic. Yeah. Kirkman, Transformers and G.I. Joe fan since his childhood. Yeah. We all are, buddy. They won the comic book rights in 2021. Yeah. Okay. So 2 years in, the book has become one of Hasbro's greatest sellers. That's cool. Yeah, there's not much detail. So, I mean, I believe this came out at Comic-Con for real or whatever, or it's been announced anyway. So, it's good. I mean, even this artwork here is pretty badass. So I think as long as they can narrow down a good style with a good amount of action and a normal amount of violence and adult content, I think this is going to be a mega hit. A mega hit for sure. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Did a primer. So with the comics for Void Rivals, it will tie into Transformers and GIJoe and the war that's coming to Earth. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, you know what? Okay, based on that, I've got to go back and read Void Rivals so I have the complete story. So okay, the decision has been made. Okay, I'll go back and get that. I'll get read up on that. I don't know if I'll be read up for next week though, but I'm gonna get read up on that for sure. What else did? So I mean, yeah, that show. I think as long as they have the right people and the right jobs, they know what the adult collectors want. I think it will be a great series. Now, I got two or 2 or 3 things left. The G.I. Joe the Transformer team put more pre-orders out. And just 1 second here. 1 second. And if I go here, Amazon, let's see, actually, sorry guys, 1 second. Okay, go back to here for a second. So, the easiest way to do this is to go to pre-orders. So the Transformer team put more pre-orders out, and you know what? They put a lot of stuff out here. We got new primes in Magulus or whatever his name is. You've got this Quintus. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really following the prime stuff or whatever, but for me, it's always the Generation 1 guys, and we're building more of Bruticus here. So we got new Blastoff, which looks pretty badass. So I got that guy pre-ordered because I got to build Bruticus, obviously. And then, of course, Brawl came out as well. And he looks pretty cool. I mean, the thing is, a lot of Transformer collectors are into third-party stuff as well, right? Third-party stuff will always look better than Hasbro stuff because you're paying the money for it, right? This stuff, the mainline toys here, is good enough for me. I think Brawl looks pretty cool. I'm excited to make Bruticus. I like their heads. They remind me of the cartoons and the comics a lot. They're doing a good job with that or whatever. So anyways, I'm excited for Bruticus. The only other one that I would probably get for this out of this would be Sure Shot. But I didn't pre-order Sure Shot for now. I'm going to hold off on him. I'll probably play the long game on Sure Shot. I think he might come up cheaper later on down the road because he's not necessarily a popular character. Yeah, so I mean, that was a quick pre-order. That was earlier in the week. I'm liking the Generation 1 part of Age of the Primes and the studio series that they've been putting out. Let's see what we got. Just let you know that Hasbro said they were doing the Hooded Cobra Commander and are talking about doing the Gun Megatron. They said nothing's off the table. I seen a video show up on my browse screen in YouTube, and I seen that with a title. And of course, I've actually done videos on that, right, on my channel, where this stuff was totally off the limits. I will see that stuff when it gets produced. Because sometimes, I mean, I don't know the context of it or whatever. Sometimes these companies talk big game. And what happens a lot of times, right, is the designers at the designer level are like, yeah, we're totally going to do this or whatever because it's going to be awesome. And because the collectors want it. But then there's people above them at like head office and they're like, no, we're not doing that because, you know, we're not doing gun toys and Hooded Cobra Commander that looks like a KKK member or whatever, right? So I personally don't have a problem with it, but I will wait until we need to get like, you know, stuff shown up about it, because I feel like the CEOs and the people that pay the money and actually control the strings might have something else to say about that. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Sub. Yeah, he ordered those too. Yeah, gotta build Bruticus, right? I'm working on three combiners here. I still haven't tracked down my Generation 1 Studio Series 86 Scavenger to finish my Devastator. I don't want to put them together until I got all the parts. Because what I was going to do, I was going to think about was pre-transform them all into their parts, and then merge them here on stream with you guys or whatever. But I can't do that until I find Scavenger. Anyways, Primer, we'll see how that works out. Where did that get announced? Like, where did that get, like, shown? Like, where did that show up on social media? Like, was it on Instagram, Twitter? You know, was it the Hasbro CEO who said it? Where did that come from? Anyways, that might be a good video for next week, a long-form video. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, you paid 20 extra bucks. Sub, I can't remember. Are you from Canada or USA? I can't remember. I think you said you're from Canada before, I think. Where did you pay for it? Because, I mean, I'm at that stage now where I'm like, I don't know, maybe I pay extra, but I haven't found one, for me to pay extra, right? I know, like, Amazon, he is not in stock. Actually, no, I have, like, one pre-order for August or whatever, 2026. So he's not in stock in Amazon. Let's see. Carlos, the Hasbro execs will tell us what we won't make while they continue to lay off employees. Yeah. No, I know. It's a business, right? And there's all these fluctuations and stuff like that. So it's like, I do feel like the people, the Hasbro execs, they have a certain thing in mind, and a lot of times you won't see this stuff. But I mean, I don't have the context right now. Like I said, I seen the story show up, didn't watch it, and then now Primers mentioned it as well, that this came out somewhere. But like, where did it come from? I'd be curious to know where it came from. Because like I said, they can tell us that everything's off the table, but until stuff starts to show up, you can't really necessarily not believe them, but you don't know what's happening in the back end, right? Yeah. So yeah, building Bruticus. I'm excited for those guys. I'm all in for pre-orders for parts that I really need for Transformers. A majority of the other stuff you can just get it at retail, but I always do recommend pre-ordering stuff that you know you 100% want, because that is the best way to secure it. Emily was asked about Hooded Cobra Commander at New York Comic Con, and she replied, "Yeah, that's old news. I believe, that came up. Or no, maybe that came up at San Diego Comic Con as well. They said nothing's off the table. Like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, if they do come out with the Hooded Cobra Commander GIJoe classified figure, I'll certainly pick them up. I mean, the Hooded Cobra Commander has always been a big part of the Real American Hero line, the cartoon, the comic books. So, I mean, I'll certainly pick them up if he comes out in classified. I just don't know if we'll really ever see them. And that's great that she says it at her level, that nothing's off the table. But there's a lot of people above her that make bigger decisions. And, it's a wait and see game, basically. We'll see how it goes. I just looked. He's unavailable at this time. I bought him 3 weeks ago. But where'd you get him from, Sub? Like, did you get him from Walmart or Amazon? Yeah. Because I've been looking for it. I've been going to like Walmart to see if I can lock into one showing up at retail. I've been checking fairly often, and I'm getting annoyed a little that I haven't been able to find one as of yet. Because remember, that's what kind of Hasbro sold us on, that all six of these guys were going to be available in 2025, and you're going to be able to complete your Devastator. But now I'm panicking that I won't be able to complete my Devastator because I'm worried that there wasn't enough shipments of the Scavenger to actually complete my Devastator. So, I guess this is first world problems for Transformer collectors, right? I'm hoping it'll work itself out. I'll find one eventually. Like I said, I do have one pre-ordered on Amazon Canada, but they're saying it's not coming to August 2026. And I don't want to wait that long. Anyway, so I'm always checking to see if they come up anywhere else. GameStop, I've checked a couple local GameStops. I've checked Walmart, and I even checked Toys R Us the other day. We have Toys R Us here in Canada still. I've seen lots of bone crushers around. You're right, Sub, but no Scavengers. We have Toys R Us here. Toys R Us sucks for pricing, but you know what? I was willing to pay extra pricing if they did have it in stock, and they did not have it in stock. You know what's funny? I didn't even check their website though. Wouldn't it be hilarious if they had it on their website? Just one second. I'm just gonna, let's see, transfer. Let me actually, you know what? Look, you guys can play along at home. Where's my window gone? I'll bring it up here, and we'll play along at home. So Transformers. Let's just put in Studio Series to cut it down a little bit. Hit enter. And this is the Toys R Us website. It's amazing. No, it's not. It's horrific. This is ridiculous. $139 for a crossover cup. Holy snap. I got them at a convention. At Transformer convention for $85. Wow. Yeah, doesn't look like they have not one of the $149 for Silverbolt. I don't. So okay, load some more product. Do we have any Constructicons, guys? It doesn't look like I have any Constructicons. Now let me just put in Transformers to see if maybe put in Studio Series, cut some of it out. I don't see any. Load more of 138 products. Let's see. I'm scrolling, guys. I'm scrolling. I don't see any Constructicons, which, like, they don't even have Bone Crusher. Guys, I was at the store the other day. You had Bone Crusher on the shelves. And we're getting into other products now. Like, this is not Transformers, Barbie, Club Chelsea camper playset. And it doesn't look like, oh man, Toys R Us's website is literally the worst website. It's been like this for years. Years, guys. It is a horrible website. And they have no Constructicons in stock. And we'll just play out this last 18. I know it's not here. Yeah, nothing. Garbage. Garbage. Yeah, so frustrating. Where's my chat gone? Let's see. I missed out. Yeah, so that August 2026, I really hope that's some kind of just clerical mistake and it gets shipped sometime soon. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I just got I ordered my last piece for Devastator. What'd you get, Primer? I wish they'd make a combiner out of Joe vehicles. Oh my God, Carlos, that would be insane. What Joe vehicles would you like to see in a combiner? That'd be pretty cool. Primer, what was the last piece of Devastator you ordered? Because now you're making me worried that you got my scavenger on my way to your house. On the way to your house. Because, like, there's nothing available online. Like, same thing. Let's, like, look. I'm sweating here. Walmart's website. Transformers. Yes, close that down. We go sold by Walmart. And what do we got here? Nothing good. Got this guy pre-ordered already. Nothing good. Nothing good. Fatimus Megatron. You know what? They didn't have any Constructicons either. Horrible. Horrible. Retail of Canada sucks, man. Oh my God, I'm sweating here for some reason. But where's my chat gone again? I lost my chat. Oh, Big Bad Toy Store has some. Okay. Oh, within 3 days. Okay, guys, I gotta take off my shirt. Not my shirt. I gotta take off my sweater because for some reason the heat has kicked in, and I am sweating here. So bear with me for a second. Woo! Not necessarily a great shirt to have on stream, just a Disney shirt. But I was sweating there for a second. Woo! Sorry, sub. What was in 3 days? You got the Vamp, the Mobat, the Striker, the APC, and the Mauler Combiner. Whoa, bro, man, that's some heavy metal machinery there. That'd be pretty crazy if they did something like that. I mean, that'd be kind of cool to see in a comic book or in a in the cartoon series for some reason or whatever, right? Sorry, I'm trying to fix my shirt here. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, guys, I totally forgot. I wanted to show you something. Where is my notes? And let me see here for a second. Let me see. One of these links. Just get my links ready. Just 1 second. We're talking about GIJoe classified stuff here for a second. I think that is one. And that is one. Just 1 second. Just scrolling through looking for something. Like, so when it comes to GIJoe Classified, one thing that I really, really enjoy, or I always enjoy looking at, is the 3D printing community for GIJoe Classified, because they do a great job of actually like producing like so much stuff. So I'm just trying to find a link here for you to show you something. I mean, you guys might have seen it already, but just a second now. Okay, so we have this here. We bring this over here. Am I logged in over here? Okay. We're gonna bring, let me get my chat back for a second. Okay, so I seen this on Twitter, and I was like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" So this guy, his name is, I guess, Derek Hicks, and he does some really good, amazing 3D printed stuff or whatever. And basically, he did this, like, he's working on this like Mauler 3D print here. Why is this not like this? We'll do it like this. I can't redo it. Anyways, so like he's got this video here showing off his like Mauler print, and man, like this thing is crazy. Like I don't know, man. Like this guy is like got some major skills. Like this looks like 1-for-1 for Real American Hero, but like this is like 3D printed. I mean, I don't know what he's doing here, but this is some crazy skills. It's got like working tracks, working like everything, and it looks so amazing. I mean, oops. I think he's done like such a crazy job. Oh wait, no, this doesn't. 1 second, guys. Oh, that was it. No, it wasn't the end of the video. I just think he's done such an amazing job with this Mauler, like so much potential. Like this is where like a lot of people kind of get upset, right? Because Hasbro should be doing stuff like this for us or whatever, right? And they don't do it for us right now. Like this thing looks badass. I want a Mauler for classified. Like this is what I want, and I think a lot of other people out there want stuff like this as well. This looks like the perfect size. I think there's one more video he has. Did I bring it up? Just 1 second. And I go over here. Oops. And like, look at the details on this stuff, man. Look at it. Like, he's got the mud flaps or whatever. He's got the engine covers. He got the lights. Like, I mean, this thing is just amazing. Like, such quality. He removed the controls or whatever, right, for the electronic part in the back, because there's no point to have them for the classified version, or in this version, his version. Because it's not motorized. The engine covers are in with magnets or whatever, so they can stay in there. Like, this guy is absolutely killing it. I would purchase one of these maulers from him. That's the only thing, though, okay? When people make these 3D printed things, I do understand that a lot of work and craftsmanship goes into these things or whatever. But I do find sometimes the prices are kind of expensive, but it's kind of like, well, you're getting handcrafted stuff, right? And somebody designed it. I understand why it is expensive. It kind of sucks that the price it is cost. I'm assuming that mauler would be like $200 or whatever, right? Yeah, like that mauler's big. I'm sure, I thought there was another picture or a video and it showed classified figures in the front of it, in the underneath the flaps or whatever, the hatches or whatever, but I didn't see it in that video. Anyways, I was really, really impressed. Derek Hicks is his name. It's in this GIJoe Classified Community 2.0 group on Facebook. Really impressed with the work. It looks amazing. And I really hope we get to see some more vehicles from Hasbro of this size, right? I would prefer the Mauler or Mobat over the Snowcat in the HasLab, but that's just my opinion. Carlos, I think a lot of people agree with your opinion, and I think that's a fairly that's a good opinion to have. Like, there's nothing wrong with having that opinion, and I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. So I just, when I seen that, I was like, wow, I want to talk about that in the chat. Like, I know a lot of people like print the Skyhawks, and a lot of other cool stuff has started to come up in the 3D printing community. I mean, so jealous that some people can just say, print this out and have such a quality print of a toy. And they're like, we live in such a weird world, right? That you can go like, here's the thing, print it, and you can print it out and you can make it yourself, right? Imagine being a kid in the 80s and you're like, hey, when I'm older, I'll just be able to print out whatever toy I want, as long as you have the design for it or whatever, right? That's insane. Well, it's such a good job, right? For sure. That was that. The only other thing I wanted to talk about tonight was a case of Hasbro once again going completely off the rails. Where is the story here? Where is the story? Is this oh, this is the right one right here. Okay, we're over to tformers.com, and there's this new Transformer 3-pack that Hasbro released that is coming out, and this is the craziest thing ever, okay? Once again, I'm sorry guys, I do not mean to be rude to the team at Hasbro. They work very hard, they do great jobs. But whoever came up with this idea must have been on something or whatever. This Transformers Spotlight, and it's basically a 3-pack of the same figure in different design stages. So you get the gray mold Optimus Prime, then you get the color molded Optimus Prime, and then you get the painted Optimus Prime. And the thing is, the figure they used was an absolute peg warmer. Nobody wanted that figure. Nobody wanted it. Like, I actually had it pre-ordered because Transformers Devastation, the video game where that figure is based on, is really cool. And I was like, I'm going to get that figure. And when I got it, I was like, this figure is so small. I was like I was like so disappointed with it. And they've already sold this figure to us already. Last year they sold it to us, or like 8 or 10 months ago. And now they're bringing out this like 3-pack. And here it is right here. And you like, who thought this was a good idea? And this is like $100 American, I think. Like, this is insane. Like, no, this is like the dumbest thing ever. This thing is going to show up at RossCon 2026 because this thing is absolutely horrible. And only the hardcore of the hardcore super niche people that need every Optimus Prime published are going to buy this. Because I can tell you right now, I love Transformers and I will not buy this. And I don't know who will buy this. So like, this is insane. The gray model, the prototype, and the production model. Like, this is insane. Like, and in display-worthy packaging. And this is going to be $84 American. No thank you. And I don't know who decided. I hope we don't see any more of these because I think these are just going to sit on Hasbro's website and not go anywhere. I'm sure some people will buy them. Obviously, there's some collectors out there that have to buy everything. But I think this is such a horrible idea. Yeah, $139 Canadian. Yeah, I know. Like, this is insane. Like, man, ridiculous. And you know what? While we're talking about Hasbro, so like, this was a big miss. Nobody should have bought this. Anyways, while we're talking about Hasbro, let's do my favorite thing. We're going to go to HasbroPulse.com. And we're going to check in on Tron. And see where Tron's at, baby. 21 days left. Accept all, yes. And barely over 1,000 backers. 1,095. In the first week, I think they had like 500 or something like that. They have not reached 1,100 backers as of yet. This thing is completely dead in the water. And I'm just assuming at this point, I said it last week, either A, Disney just comes in and buys it all and puts it in their store, or B, Hasbro just kills it at the end and's like, we're done here. I mean, I guess at this point, we're only 21 days left. I would assume that they're just going to let it run out and it's not going to be backed. Once again, I forgot to mention this in my video that I did it. This is $259 American for 5 figures and 2 vehicles and a display stand. If I hit back this product and I go to my cart, I go to checkout. Like, how come nobody has mentioned that, like, if you don't have a premium membership, there's a $34 American surcharge on this order if you don't have Hasbro Pulse Premium. Like, this is insane. Like, $294 to send this to my house. No thank you. Like, this is on the same level as the like a GIJoe HasLab. Like, no, this is ridiculous. Wow. Whatever they're doing at the HasLab HQ, I don't know. I don't know who's doing all these crazy things, but this is insanity. Womp womp. That thing is too expensive. Yeah, Autobot. Why do I keep calling it Autobot? Because that's the thing. I just call you Primer. $470 Canadian. Yeah, we'll just bring it up. Let's do it. We'll do exchange rate. USA to Canada. We're doing, $259.99 would be $364. And if it was $298, $417. Holy snap. Holy snap, that's expensive, guys. That is expensive. Wow. I don't like, who are the 1,000 people that backed that? I have to wonder sometimes, who are the 1,000 people that backed that? That is crazy. 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 Anyways. So, I mean, it's got to be one of their greatest fails for sure, right? One of their greatest fails for sure. I'm going to be very interested to see what they come up with next to offer us, because the people that run the HasLab, if this one failed miserably, if they're going to put another one up soon, it better be so good that people just want to give you your money, because you can't have multiple failures in a row. The Snowcat was weak. The gunship was weak. This thing was abysmal. And if you're gonna come back with more HasLab, you got to get like some banging thing or whatever to put up there or whatever. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm still worried about it. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Guys, we're heading towards the end of the stream now. If you haven't done already, think about hitting that like button as well. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I'm just checking my notes for stuff. Let's see what we covered. We covered my big Facebook Marketplace GIJoe Real American Hero deal. We'll find out more about that tomorrow. We talked about the cartoon. We talked about the Mauler. We talked about the Prime 3-pack, which was garbage. And we talked about Pre-Order and Brawl and Blast Off and the other Transformers. If you do ever need anything from Amazon related to GIJoe Classified and Transformers, think about hitting out our store. It's just amazon.com/shop/the SwishPOP. It helps us out if you can. Support the channel. Yeah. I heard that HasLab may be ending and going away. So there's been some rumors about that as well. Is this related to that I have heard rumors as well. From some videos I've seen or whatever. And then of course there was that rumor that they were going to do a subscription service for figures, which I'm not really interested in myself. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if HasLab has necessarily been doing a great job lately. I just went through their misses recently, and if they're going to come back with something, they need to come back with a banger. I think they should do my Cobra Transport, a Real American Hero helicopter that I did the video on last week. I think that thing would be funded just like that, because although I understand we've moved away from a Real American Hero to Classified, I do think there's a lot of Real American Hero collectors out there like myself that would be more than happy to give Hasbro their money for that and say, give it to me now. I would rather see a Tron tank or that H-shaped vehicle as a HasLab. Yeah, like that stuff would be cool, right? You're right. I never thought about that. The tank would be cool, or that big, I don't even know what it's called. I understand what you're talking about. The big thing that floats and squishes the things. Yeah, that stuff would have been cool because it would have been different. It would have been part of a dream project, not just the regular run-of-the-mill figures and the light cycles that we've had before, right? Or, basically, re-releasing. I don't think HasLab works really well if they're re-releasing something. They need to come up with original stuff, make things bigger and better, and then do the HasLab to get people to purchase it, right? Yeah. The transport helicopter, the killer whale. Some of these things would be instant successes. But Hasbro has other things in mind, I guess, right? So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. They better come back with something really, really good if they're going to continue on with a HasLab. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I don't necessarily have 100% faith in them anymore. They've let us down. They could have did better sometimes. I still think the Snowcat was a little weak at times. But, it funded. But people, And that's the thing. People go like, well, no, it funded. It was a success. No, it wasn't a success because it should have funded in the first week, not took 40 days to fund. And while that is still considered a success, it could have been way more successful if they had to do it better, right? You think it's called a recognizer, hey? That thing from Tron? Maybe. I mean, I'm sure you can Google it. I'm not familiar with it. I still haven't gone to see Tron Ares. I've heard it's not supposed to be that great of a movie, but it's supposed to be interesting, at least an action movie. I think it's one of those movies you totally need to go see in the theater just to get to the sound and the audio and the visual. And I think if you watch it at home, it won't have that same like oomph, you know what I mean? That won't hit at the same level. So I mean, hopefully, hopefully the HasLab team comes back with something good, because I'm really worried with the direction they've been taking, and they need to come back with some kind of banger that people want to support, and even the gunship, the Star Wars gunship, while it funded, like their stretch goals were not interesting enough, right? They weren't interesting enough to demand a lot of people backing it, because they didn't even unlock a lot of the stretch goals. They unlocked one of them by a what's the word I'm for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. They unlocked one of them later on because they did the math wrong and they had to fix it. Like that's anyways, whatever. Who cares? Long story short, I'm concerned about HasLab. Hopefully they come back with some kind of banger. And long story short, guys, I think I'm actually going to end the stream now in a second. I really, really appreciate you guys coming out and listen to me ramble and chatting with me. You don't understand. Like, I'm amazed that anyone shows up at all. And, you know, to get a bit of a community going here with a bunch of guys, a bunch of people, I really enjoy it. And, you know, I enjoy you guys coming along out at night here. It's late. It's 1 o'clock in the morning here almost. So I do understand there's a bit of involvement for you guys, and I really do appreciate you guys coming out. So like always, we do this every late night on Sundays at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, Primer. Great. Thanks for dropping by as well. And we will see you next week. We'll be here, and hopefully, you know, sometimes weeks are slow, right? Depending on the news. You guys can always come with stuff. We can talk about stuff that you want to talk about. Throw some topics in the chat. We can talk about it. Now, this week should be interesting because, like I said, I should, in theory, be picking up that big GIJoe Real American Hero collection tomorrow. And fingers crossed for that one, that works out, because that is going to be amazing if it works out. I'm really hoping it does. I think it will. I have no reason to think that the lady's going to back out of the deal. Anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I'll give you more details on that. I'll probably post on Twitter to see how that goes. So if you do, follow us on Twitter if you have Twitter. That's where I post their Twitter, and I post on the community post page as well. I kind of use the community post page of YouTube as Twitter as well, just to get my social media posts out there, because I think it's a great spot. A lot of people underutilize that. So make sure you keep an eye on it. I'll keep you up to date to see if we do get that deal. Fingers crossed. But for the most part, we will be back next week. I am rambling, and I really appreciate you guys coming out. We'll see you next week, and thanks for dropping by. Have a good one. See you later.